Hello everyone, welcome to Groups Master. This is APPSC Group 1 Mains Revision Series Science and Technology. వీడియోలో మనం టాపిక్స్ 8.6 డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఇందులో మనం ఈ టాపిక్స్ అన్ని డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నాం. బయోటెక్నాలజీ అండ్ అగ్రికల్చర్, బయోపెస్టిసైడ్స్, బయోఫెర్టిలైజర్స్, బయోఫ్యూయల్స్ అండ్ genetically modified crops. Please visit our official website groupsmaster.com for further updates and information. Let us see biotechnology in agriculture. Agriculture biotechnology involves the use of scientific tools and techniques including genetic engineering, molecular diagnostics, vaccines and tissue culture to modify living organisms like plants, animals and microorganisms. Biotechnology provides farmers with tools that can make production cheaper and more manageable. One of the major applications of biotechnology in agriculture is the development of GMOs, genetically modified organisms. These are plants, animals or microorganisms whose genetic makeup has been altered in order to enhance certain traits such as resistance to pests and diseases or to increase crop yields. For example, scientists have developed GM crops such as BT cotton and BT brinjal etc. that are resistant to certain herbicides, which allows farmers to control weeds more effectively and increase crop yields. ఇది రివిజన్ సిరీస్, సో ఫాస్ట్గా మూవ్ అవుతాం. ఇందులో ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ ఏమీ ఉండదు. బెనిఫిట్స్ ఆఫ్ agriculture biotechnology. First benefit is increased crop yields. Agriculture biotechnology has potential to increase the crop yields by introducing traits such as resistance to pests and diseases, drought tolerance and increased nutrient uptake. Next benefit is reduced use of pesticides. Biotechnology can reduce the use of harmful pesticides by creating crops that are naturally resistant to pests and diseases. Improved nutritional quality. Biotechnology can be used to enhance the nutritional quality of crops by increasing the levels of essential vitamins and minerals. Next benefit is enhanced food safety. Biotechnology can be used to develop crops that are less prone to contamination by harmful bacteria, viruses and fungi. Next benefit is reduced environmental impact. Biotechnology can help to reduce the environmental impact of farming by creating crops that require fewer inputs such as water, fertilizer and pesticides. Next benefit is enhanced crop diversity. Biotechnology can be used to develop new crop varieties that are adapted to different growing conditions, which can help to increase crop diversity and resilience. Next is biopesticides. Biopesticides are type of pesticides that are derived from natural sources such as animals, plants, bacteria and minerals. They are generally considered to be safer for environment and human health than chemical pesticides. One of the most common types of biopesticides is derived from microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi. These microorganisms can produce toxins that are toxic to certain pests but are harmless to humans and other animals. For example, BT, that is Bacillus thuringiensis, is a generally occurring soil-borne bacteria that produces a toxin that is toxic to certain insects. It produces toxin which is toxic to certain insects such as caterpillars and mosquitoes. This toxin can be isolated from the bacteria and used as a biopesticide. Alage canola oil and baking soda have pesticide applications that are considered biopesticides. Biopesticides can be classified into four main classes. First one is microbial pesticides. These are pesticides that contain microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi and viruses and protozoa that are effective in controlling the pests. They can be used to target specific pests or diseases and are often applied as spray or seed treatment. The most widely used microbial pesticides are subspecies and strains of Bacillus thuringiensis, ante BT antam shortcut lo. Biochemical pesticides. These are naturally occurring substances such as pheromones, enzymes and plant extracts that are used to control pests. They are generally less toxic than chemical pesticides and can be used to target specific pests. Next one is botanical pesticides. These are pesticides derived from the plant extracts such as neem oil, pyrethrin and rotenone. They are effective in controlling a wide range of pests and are often used in organic farming. Next main class of biopesticide is PIPs, plant incorporated products antam. These are genetically modified crops that have been engineered to produce their own pesticides. They are effective in controlling a wide range of pests including insects, fungi and bacteria. These are the main four main classes of biopesticides. Next, advantages of biopesticides. They are environmentally friendly. Biopesticides are generally considered to be more environmentally friendly than chemical pesticides because they are derived from the natural sources and do not persist in the environment. Next advantage, target specific. Biopesticides are often more target specific than chemical pesticides, which means they can be used to control specific pests without harming non-targeted organisms such as beneficial insects or animals. Next advantage, safe for human health. Biopesticides generally considered to be safer for human health than chemical pesticides because they are less toxic and do not leave harmful residues on crops or in the environment. Next advantage of biopesticide is resistance management. Biopesticides can be an important tool in resistance management because they can be used in rotation with chemical pesticides to reduce the likelihood of pest developing resistance. Next advantage, sustainable agriculture. The use of biopesticides is a key component of sustainable agriculture because it helps to reduce the environmental impact of farming and promote the use of natural resources. Next important advantage is low pre-harvest interval. Biopesticides often have shortest pre-harvest intervals than chemical pesticides, which means farmers can use them closer to harvest without having to worry about residue levels exceeding regulatory limits. Next topic is biofertilizers. Biofertilizers are defined as substances or microorganisms that, when applied to soil or seeds, enhance nutrient availability and plant growth. These microorganisms include bacteria, fungi, and algae, which live in symbiotic relationships with plants and help to provide essential nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur. They can also improve soil structure and increase crop yields. Examples of biofertilizers include rhizobia. These bacteria can fix nitrogen in the roots of legumes. And next one is mycorrhizae, fungi that form symbiotic relationships with plant roots and help to increase nutrient uptake. Next example is azospirillum, bacteria that promote growth in cereal crops. Next, types of biofertilizers. Nitrogen fixing biofertilizers. These biofertilizers contain nitrogen fixing bacteria such as rhizobium, azotobacteria, azospirillum, which convert atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia that plants can use for the growth. These biofertilizers are commonly used for legume crops such as soybeans, peas, and beans. Next type is phosphate solubilizing biofertilizers. These contain phosphate solubilizing bacteria such as bacillus and pseudomonas, which solubilize insoluble phosphate in the soil and make it available to plants. These biofertilizers are commonly used for crops such as rice, wheat, and maize. Next biofertilizer is potassium mobilizing biofertilizers. These biofertilizers contain potassium mobilizing bacteria such as bacillus and pseudomonas, which mobilize potassium in the soil and make it available to plants. These biofertilizers are commonly used for crops such as potatoes, tomatoes, and peppers. Next type is biofertilizers containing mycorrhiza fungi. These biofertilizers contain mycorrhiza fungi which form a symbiotic relationship with plant roots and enhance nutrient uptake. These biofertilizers are commonly used for fruit trees, vegetables, and ornamental plants. Next type is biofertilizers that contain plant growth promoting bacteria. These biofertilizers contain bacteria that produce plant growth promoting substances such as cytokinins and auxins, which enhance the plant growth and yield. These biofertilizers are commonly used for crops such as cotton, maize, and sugarcane. Next is role of biofertilizers in agriculture. First role is enhancing soil fertility. Biofertilizers enrich the soil with nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which are essential for plant growth. They also help to maintain soil pH, prevent soil erosion, and improve soil structure. Next role of biofertilizer in agriculture is promoting plant growth. Biofertilizers stimulate plant growth by producing plant hormones and enzymes that enhance the absorption of nutrients from the soil. They also increase the number and size of fruits, improve seed germination, and increase the crop yield. Next role is reducing chemical fertilizer use. The use of biofertilizers reduces the need for chemical fertilizers, which can be harmful to the environment and expensive for farmers. Biofertilizers are eco-friendly and sustainable, making them an ideal alternative to chemical fertilizers. Next is improving soil health. The biofertilizers introduce beneficial microorganisms into the soil which promote soil health and biodiversity. This in turn improves the soil quality, reduces soil-borne diseases, and enhances the plant resistance to pests and diseases. Next role is enhancing food safety. Biofertilizers are safe to use and do not leave harmful residues in soil or the crops. This enhances food safety and reduces the risk of health hazards associated with the chemical fertilizers. ఈ విధంగా కంక్లూడ్ చేయొచ్చు బయోఫెర్టిలైజర్స్ టాపిక్ని. బయోఫెర్టిలైజర్స్ ప్లే a vital role in sustainable agriculture by enhancing soil fertility, promoting plant growth, reducing chemical fertilizer use, improving soil health, and enhancing food safety. Next topic is biofuels. Biofuels are a type of renewable energy source that are derived from biomass, which is any organic material that comes from plants or animals. The most common types of biofuels are ethanol and biodiesel, which can be used for replacement for gasoline and diesel fuel. Ethanol is made by Fermenting and distilling sugar or starch crops such as corn, sugarcane and wheat. Biodiesel is made by combining vegetable oils or animal fats with an alcohol, typically methanol, to create a fuel that can be used in diesel engines. Biofuels may be solid, liquid or gaseous in nature. Solid loni wood, dried plant material and manure అనొచ్చు. Liquid లో bioethanol, biodiesel, gaseous లో biogas. Next, 3 generations of biofuels చూద్దాం. There are 3 generations of biofuels which are differentiated by the type of biomass used, the production technology and the resulting environmental impact. First generation biofuels. These are made from food crops such as corn, sugarcane and soybeans. The biomass is typically converted into ethanol or biodiesel through fermentation. First generation biofuels have been criticized for competing with food production, contributing to deforestation and requiring large amounts of energy and water to produce. Next come second generation biofuels. These are made from non-food crops such as switchgrass, poplar trees and agricultural waste. The biomass is converted into biofuels through advanced technologies such as gasification, pyrolysis and enzymatic hydrolysis. Second generation biofuels are generally considered more sustainable than the first generation biofuels because they do not compete with food production and can utilize waste materials. Next comes third generation biofuels. These are advanced biofuels made from non-food crops such as algae and other renewable sources that do not compete with food production. They are also known as advanced biofuels or next generation biofuels and are considered to be more sustainable than first and second generation biofuels. Third generation biofuels are produced from various sources such as microalgae, macroalgae and cyanobacteria, which have a higher oil content and can grow in wastewater, seawater or other non-arable land. These biofuels are considered to be carbon neutral or even carbon negative as they absorb more CO2 during the growth than they release when burned. Next one is fourth generation biofuels. There are biofuels that are currently under development and they are made from non-food sources such as waste materials and use advanced conversion technologies to produce fuels that are even more sustainable and environmentally friendly than previous generations. Fourth biogeneration fuels are designed to address the limitations of the previous generations, including low energy densities and high production costs and competition with food production. Next, advantages of biofuels. First advantage, renewable and sustainable. Biofuels are made from organic matter that can be replenished, unlike finite fossil fuels. Biofuels are also considered to be more sustainable than traditional fuels as they have lower greenhouse gas emissions and are less likely to contribute to climate change. Next advantage, reduced greenhouse gas emissions. Biofuels can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by up to 90% compared to fossil fuels, which can help mitigate the impact of the climate change. Next advantage, increased energy security. Biofuels can reduce dependence on imported fossil fuels and provide a domestic source of energy. This can improve energy security and reduce the risks associated with energy price volatility and supply disruptions. Next advantage is job creation. Biofuels can create jobs in rural areas where feedstocks are grown and in urban areas where biofuels are produced and distributed. Next advantage, improved air quality. Biofuels produce fewer pollutants than traditional fossil fuels, which can improve air quality and reduce respiratory illness. Diversification of energy sources. The use of biofuels can diversify the energy mix and provide an alternative to traditional fossil fuels, reducing dependence on a single source of energy. Reduced waste. Next advantage, biofuels can be made from waste materials such as agricultural and forestry residues, which can reduce waste and provide an additional source of energy. Next topic is genetically modified crops, shortcut GM crops anta. GMOs definition ikkada ivochu. Genetically modified organisms or GMOs can be defined as organisms, that is plants, animals or microorganisms in which genetic material DNA has been altered in order to introduce new traits or characteristics. This is typically done by introducing genes from one organism into another organism by a process known as genetic engineering. One of the most common reasons for creating GM crops is to make them resistant to certain pests or diseases. The goal is to improve crop yields, increase resistance to pests and diseases, and reduce the use of harmful chemicals in agriculture. GM crops have been developed for a variety of applications. Some of the most common applications of GM crops are pest resistance. First one is pest resistance is the first application of GM crops. GM crops are often engineered to be resistant to specific pests such as insects and nematodes. This can reduce the need for harmful pesticides and herbicides, resulting in less environmental damage and improved yields. Herbicide tolerance is the next application of GM crops. GM crops can also be engineered to be resistant to specific herbicides. This allows farmers to apply herbicides selectively and reducing the impact on non-target plants and increasing crop yields. Next one is disease resistance. GM crops can be modified to resist certain diseases such as bacterial blight in rice or fungal diseases in wheat. This can help prevent crop losses and improve food security. Next application is enhancing nutrition. GM crops can be engineered to contain higher levels of certain nutrients such as vitamins or minerals. This can help address malnutrition in populations that rely on staple crops for their dietary needs. Next application is environmental benefits. GM crops can be designed to grow in marginal or degraded soils, reducing the need for deforestation and other environmentally damaging practices. They can also be engineered to require less water or fertilizer, reducing the impact on local ecosystems. Next important application is cost effective. In the long run, GM crops can be cost effective for farmers as it reduces the need for pesticides, herbicides and increases yields. Thank you very much. ikkada video conclude chestunnam. If you really like this video, please subscribe to Groups Master YouTube channel.